Hey guys, so really fast, I'm going to go over what the Boise and Meridian, Idaho market is looking like currently. This is probably one of the most frequently asked questions in real estate. No matter where you're at or who you're talking to, everybody asks what the market looks like, and whether they actually care, I don't know. But for those of you that do, I'm going to cover it really fast. I have it all broken down on my website as well if you'd rather read it. So anyway, basically the overview of it is that right now we are kind of seeing a peak, I shouldn't say a peak, a rise in it, because a peak would insinuate that it's going to drop soon, and I'm not sure that it will. Nothing really leads anybody to believe that it will. Actually, on the contrary, we're looking at a couple years ago, we were at 650,000 people in the Boise metro area, and it's estimated that by 2020 that number will be up to 850,000. So you are seeing about a 200,000 person increase in the population potentially, according to Boise Regional Realtors, which is where I get most of my information. They're very on. You can go check out their website as well. Anyway, so overview of the market right now, though. The median sales price is hovering right around 275,000, a little bit less. It's right around 273.9, but 275,000 is kind of the median point, and that is up 8.7% over last year, which is a huge price increase. I'm not saying it's totally abnormal, but it is really, it really is a big price increase that we see there. Just in June, there was 1,182 homes sold, which is 1.3% increase over last year's productivity in June. So that's also a pretty decent increase just in a month alone, especially considering June is a very productive month in real estate. You kind of see you see how fast houses are going really increase coming into spring and summer. It's kind of, everybody gets excited. I don't know if it's because they're sick of their homes by the end of winter, or if it's just kind of that like spring fever that makes them want to go out and buy a new home. But you do really see kind of an increase coming into the summer, and then you do see it kind of declining, not necessarily the prices, but just how many people are wanting to buy. You see it kind of zone off. Plus, people might realize how heavy the winters are here, change their minds in the winter, and they leave. But anyway, they're actually good if you like to be outside and snowboard. But anyway, so that is kind of what you're looking at as far as homes sold. There is that increase. Days on market are down to about 33 is the average time on market for homes, which is a very short average. If you consider that there are some really bad homes out there that stay on market, there are a lot of them that stay on market for a really long time. So if the average is 33 days, that means everything is moving very fast. So something to keep in mind as a buyer is just that your inventory is not lasting. So know ahead of time. Check out, I think I've done a video on it. I know I've done a blog post on it on my website, KaylinRaley.realtor. I talk about making lists ahead of looking, especially when you're in a market that's hot. You want to know because everything's going fast. 33 days on market, average. That's crazy. The inventory we're looking at is a 1.7% between new construction and pre-existing residential. You're seeing a 1.7. Residential itself, pre-existing, is at 1.4, and I think new construction is at right around 2.9 months. I think I might have said percentage, but I mean months. So that's how many months of inventory you have. So for a market to be considered balanced, you want to have 4 to 6 months of inventory, meaning that if nothing else got listed, there would still be homes to buy for the next 4 to 6 months. Right now, if everybody stopped listing, the market would not last past 1.7 months. That is crazy. It's crazy to me. This market's awesome. It really is awesome. If you're wanting to sell, it's a great time. I don't want to say that it's a seller's market, because yes, it is really great for sellers, but it's also not a bad market for buyers right now. If you look at our market compared to markets across the United States, we have really good prices. Really great prices considering how safe the area is. It's just, in my opinion, as a buyer that would be looking, I think it's totally worth the investment, and I don't think that any of the prices are, too high. So I think they're all pretty reasonable, especially considering the fact that we're booming right now. So I don't want to say that it is a seller's market. I do think it's a great market for sellers. I don't think it's necessarily a beneficial market for buyers, but it's not a bad market for buyers, especially considering all of the amazing loan setups that are becoming available. Talk to loan officers, figure out what's available down that road. But anyway, I don't want to say it's a seller's market. It is beneficial to sellers right now, not necessarily beneficial to buyers, but it's not a bad market for buyers at the same rate. So that being said, I just totally lost my train of thought. So bear with me for a minute. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about the why. So the why behind the market kind of going up right now. If you remember back to a while ago, back when I was a kid, I remember Krispy Kreme used to sit out in the middle of fields. And maybe it sat that way just up until really recently, but I wasn't actually over here up until a few years ago. So I don't know exactly when it happened, but I remember as a little kid driving out and looking out the window at all these desolate fields and then showing up at Krispy Kreme. And it was in the middle of nowhere. And I went to Krispy Kreme last year and I was so confused. I didn't think there was any way it was the same Krispy Kreme, because now it's surrounded by pavement and developments and there's a field over here, but that's the only field and it's surrounded by houses. So anyway, it is crazy how much Meridian has developed, especially right in there. The village got put in and Meridian just boomed. It started becoming basically the next Boise. So you really see that boom attracting a lot of people. 20% of buyers are coming up just from California alone. Are coming up here. You are just seeing this huge surplus of people moving in, especially to the Meridian area, in comparison to what it used to be. So that's one thing that's kind of, obviously the demand, like I said, we're at 1.7 months of inventory. That's going to drive those prices up a bit. The other thing that is going to drive the prices up is the fact that all of the new construction that's happening everywhere to compensate for the amount of people we have coming in to the area is really driving up housing prices in the area as well, because you've got all of this new construction coming in, and along with that new construction comes a bigger price tag. And when you get a lot of those larger price points just in the new development, it really drives the overall price point of the whole area up. So if you're looking in really areas that have kind of been overlooked as far as new construction coming in, kind of the older developments, obviously not the north end because it's incredibly expensive, but kind of some of those hidden little areas that nobody really knows about, it's kind of not in the best location, those are going to be the areas that you find a bit more of the lower price points, because you're not going to have all of that new construction coming in and driving the price point up, driving the appraisal point up. Obviously the demand is going to drive that appraisal value up as well, because you've got the more bids you have coming in. A lot of times if you get 5 bids coming in on a property, you can submit those to the appraiser. He'll take those into account and can raise the price even if it was not appraising for that based on comparables. The demand will drive that base price up from the appraisal as well. So basically your two factors that are really driving the market right now are just how high the demand is, and then all of that new construction coming in, and that's what you're seeing raising that price point. So hopefully this has helped give you a bit of insight. Hopefully it hasn't scared you off if you're a buyer, because like I said, it's not necessarily a bad time to buy. It's just not a buyer favoring market currently. So anyway, I think it's a great market. Of course, I think that way because I'm a realtor. It's exciting to see how much is moving around here. But anyway, hopefully this has helped kind of answer some questions. Like I said, I have it all typed out on my website if you want to go look at that. And my source is Boise Regional Realtors if you want to check them out as well. They've got more information there that you can check out to see kind of the history of what the trends have been through the market over time. So I will update as soon as I get the next market update. So check back at that point and feel free to check out the rest of my website as well. Thanks.